Good morning, everybody. It's not morning, it's evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Far Reaches Dungeons & Dragons Homebrew campaign right here on twitch.tv/MonkeyDKS. This is a homebrew campaign written by our very own MumblesOfANerd. It is about this gang of adventurers who are drafted into helping the goddess Freya rescue her land of the Far Reaches. This is session number 3, as you can see down below. And we're going to be doing some stuff and some things. We just finished a fight at the end of the last session. There was a guy, he was getting hanged, and we stopped it, and we fought off all of the guards. Still not really sure why. We'll figure it out. Howdy. That's a great emote. That came out really, really well. I've got the hat today. Why not? But let's go join the rest of the group. Already in progress.
Well, wizard.
I'm back. Say hi to Twitch.
Welcome back.
Okay. I see Weslie is here.
Hello, Weslie.
Weslie, you need to know your zodiac sign for tonight. So make sure you know that. Okay. Okay. As long as you know it. All right, it is 7:03. We are at that time. If everyone does not have the link for tonight, then get it. It should be in the Discord. Same one we ended up using last week, which is...
Master's pinned it in general for people.
Okay, it is pinned in general.
I'm going to mute my phone so it doesn't play... Patience.
Who wants to do the recap?
Well, oh, go ahead.
No. I don't want to.
You don't want to?
because Crane would know the last 30 minutes. He remembers
Yeah.
shooting someone with a revolver. That would be your recap.
All that happened was a lot of people jumped through a portal. Merinos and Vix did not want to, and Vix kind of got swept away by some water. Merinos kind of stood his ground for a while. We all jumped through eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And we come upon the scene of a young boy about to be hanged, and a bunch of people watching,
And
we're
throwing
like,
fruit.
what the heck? Oh yeah, and they're all throwing fruit. And come to realize through talking to the crowd that the boy is being falsely accused of a couple things, like stealing being one of them. And when they're about to hang him, shenanigans started. People were threatened. Well, party members were threatened by guards, and then that started combat. We released the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we fought a bunch of guards, and that's about it.
Okay. Is everyone satisfied with that recap?
Sure.
Seems good to me.
I like it.
All right. Well, then I will go ahead and bring y'all into session 3 of the Far Reaches. So welcome back, everybody, to another week. Yes, so where you left off, you are currently in the square of a place that only your real-life person would know because it's labeled at the top of Foundry. You have no idea what this actual place is called, but you're in the square. You've since staved off this execution. I got asked a couple times this week, and we'll let y'all know that as the crowd dispersed, so too did the people who you saw with cloaks and hoods who had entered the crowd before the execution was set to be carried out, and they dissipated with the crowd. No one has stayed behind. So from what you know right now, there are some dead guards and legionnaires on the field, and currently you have a guard being held by Jolin.
I have something I want to do.
So what would y'all like to do?
I want to search a body.
Okay.
Specifically the one that's a bit north of Merinos.
You should be able to move now.
Oh, I can.
I've unpaused.
I'm gonna go right there, and then I'm gonna roll Inception, investigation.
Roll Inception.
Roll an Inception check.
Okay.
No,
Two.
no, please.
Yes, there is a
why?
body
Okay.
there.
So you lean down to sort of search through this guard's things, and you realize that he's in a lot more pieces than you maybe thought, and it's kind of gross. But you do reach your hands into a pocket, and you manage to pull out a gold-plated locket with a picture of two small children inside.
That hurts. But I want to
Jesus, why didn't
steal
you
his.
kill
I want to
one?
steal that bracelet with the tassel. The bracelet with the tassel. The band. Please.
Okay.
So I have a question about that. So I never specifically asked for it, but with my passive perception of 15, do I notice these?
The bracelets?
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely do. You notice, yes. Remember, y'all took a little bit of time last to watch people pass by, and you've noticed these bracelets, and you'll realize that on the guards that you're looking at, it is a silver band with like a blue tassel that sort of hangs off of it. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people here, so there are 7
What other
bracelets.
band tassel combinations have we spotted?
So far, you have seen silver bands with blue and white. You've seen like copper, like Duracell copper type bands of white with white tassels. You have not seen anyone walking the street other than yourselves without a band on their wrist.
I would like to go up to Leoric.
Okay.
I'm going to look at Leoric and say, so, what exactly was that? What just happened, and why exactly are all of these people dead?
Well, they attacked us.
Well, yes, they did attack us. However, if you had kept your big mouth shut, perhaps they could have just done their justice and moved on, perhaps?
Is it really justice, though?
Well, I mean, he said he had evidence. He was the lawful executioner. The townspeople appeared to be all for it, and so yeah, it sort of seemed like it. Yeah.
Well, not all of them were all for it, which is why I spoke up. Otherwise, I would have kept my mouth shut, which I'm not very good at doing.
I've noticed.
Well, thank you.
I've noticed. I would like to do something here, if I may.
I'm gonna walk away from Leoric.
Okay.
I would like to loot the Legionnaire
There.
nearest to me, and if they have a bracelet, take it off of their wrist and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
wait.
They do have a bracelet. It is silver with a blue tassel on it. You take that easily enough. If you would like to loot the body, then I need you to make an investigation check.
Okay. Tweebs, could you do that for somebody?
Oh wait, add something to your inventory. I don't know if I.
No, I can. No, she wants to
necessarily?
roll investigation. I got it.
Oh, roll investigation. Okay.
Oh, I got to click on the thing first.
Yeah, it's a +5.
Now I can roll investigation. It's a +5 for her.
Yep.
She rolled a 22.
22.
That's not fair.
Thanks, Master.
Right. So you find a puzzle cube, which you have no idea what it does, but it is a puzzle cube. You find an unused tinderbox, 2 pounds of salt in a bag, 25 and 25 gold pieces, and a letter. What looks to be a carbon copied letter addressed to Tiberius.
Do you have that written down, Mumbles?
I'm working on it.
Okay, somebody, please, because I don't.
All right, so I got the puzzle box, the tinder box, 25 gold, the letter, and there's
And
one thing
2
I'm missing right
pounds
before
of-
the gold. Say it again, sorry.
2 pounds of salt.
Right. All right,
All right.
So is anyone else looting any bodies?
I'd like to go over to this one. And
You
loot
can,
it.
you do not have to do it for the sake of this. You do not have to do it one at a time. If 2 of you want to roll an investigation check, and I will tell you what you find if y'all want to loot the bodies.
All right.
I,
Can we
either,
do it on D&D
uh,
together?
yeah, either 2 people roll an investigation check, or 1 person do it with advantage.
I would like to loot one too.
Who has high? Well, I would say whoever has high investigation should go and have advantage because that gives you the best shot. So.
okay. While they're looting bodies,
Mhm.
Leoric would
negative
like
1
to take the
investigation.
arm of the guard that has the tassel on it and just like raise it up to his face and be like, what's this for? Why is everybody
As
wearing
in-
this?
You got to me before I could tell. I actually need you to make Leoric. I need you to make a perception check for me.
Perception. Got it. 14.
14? Okay. Yeah, but out of the corner of your eye, you see him very quickly reach down to his belt, grab something, pop it in his mouth, and throw it on the ground. As you
Oh
turn.
God.
I will hold his mouth open.
And I'm ready to cast healing, lay on hands if anything happens.
Hold on just a second.
And then I'm going to cast. Oh, that's probably not a good idea. I'm gonna hold off on that.
Oh God, when Masters thinks it's not a good idea, it's really not a good idea.
You know what? You know what?
So okay, so you
Oh
have
no, please, please.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.
at what he perception roll was high enough that as you look down at what he threw on the ground, it looks like a healing potion.
Oh, okay. In that case, you can keep it. We're good.
It looks like it, but is it? That's the real question. Anyway, Merinos is still ready to put lay on hands. He's
Make
kind of dumb.
a
Am I still
make
rolling? investigation?
a investigation check if you'd like to know.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'm gonna be. It's gonna be a great roll. Don't worry, guys.
Wait, are 2
I'm
people
super
standing
smart.
on top of each
Yep,
other?
I
Hey!
knew it. I'm so smart.
Natural 1.
You actually reach down to the vial, and you kind of bring it up to your nose and you smell it, and it smells just like a healing potion would. And the little drop in it looks just like it, and you lick it just because. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh my god. Oh no. Good thing I have okay constitution, I guess.
Whew.
Yo, 22.
Okay, you succeed, so you will take half of this.
Oh my god. I'm casting lay on hands on this man. Did he actually drink any?
Yeah, he drank the whole vial, so you take 4 poison damage.
Okay, I'm gonna go and put lay on hands on him because that's not cool.
Okay.
Also, I don't think even if I do lay on hands, he's not gonna make it because that was 1 drop.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Okay,
He's
so
instantly dead.
Okay, so as you're looking at him and as he does this, he is like he's not unconscious yet, but you can see that his eyes are starting to sort of roll back. He seems very it's about to be bad.
Be gone soon.
So, Leoric, what are you doing? Because I had to interrupt you to do that.
Okay. So, as I see my new friend panic after licking the bottle for some ungodly reason, I'm just going to put my palm over his mouth and cast Destroy Water.
Dude, no. Oh god. Oh god.
Okay.
Oh no.
You know the human body's 80%
Please.
water?
Destroy water?
No, you're gonna make him a prune. Why are you trying to make him into a human prune?
I'll ask you, what was your intention when you did that?
So Leoric's thought was whatever he just ingested is made of got some liquid in it. So if I destroy it, then he's not gonna die.
Oh wait, I have an idea.
So Leoric does this, and you watch. You put his hand over his mouth, and his face begins to, like, you watch his tongue shrivel up, and his gums retract, and you look down towards his abdomen, and you just watch it sink and cave in, and he collapses,
Oh well,
I was
that wasn't
thinking
the
about-
desired effect.
having destroyed all of the water since the body is 70% water. You've just destroyed it.
That,
You know what I was gonna do? I was gonna go and like make him do Heimlich, like do a Heimlich maneuver, but I guess he's dead, so
Yeah, so he is like 100% dead.
he's gone.
Just to let you know, he was gonna be dead anyway, because it takes a minute to take effect, but he took 40 points of poison damage drinking the whole thing.
Oh.
So
Oh, that's
he was,
probably twice his health.
yeah, so he was insta dead in a minute. You had 60 seconds.
Well, that didn't go as planned.
Okay, so someone was still supposed to be rolling an investigation for me for looting if y'all were going to do that. Six.
I wasn't.
You can roll, Vix. You roll it again because you roll at advantage.
Roll again, you said?
Yep.
No.
20. All right. You find, if anyone's ready for this, you find.
Can you paste it in chat for us?
Nope. Because this is in a notebook,
Oh,
an
all right.
actual physical notebook. I'll go slow.
Okay.
I got
4 pounds of salt. You find a ring, iron ring with 6 keys on it. You find a silver flask that is full. You find 4 healing potions. You find 5 platinum pieces, 50 gold pieces, and 15 silver pieces. You also find a locked box. And on the last person who you loot, you find a small leather-bound book that the name you can't read because it is in a language that you do not know.
All right. And while people are doing that, Mumbles, can I go off in the corner and just explore inside my pack?
Yes.
I'm going to.
Your pack or your bag of holding?
My bag of holding. I'm looking at my book.
Okay.
And I'd like. Sorry. I'd like to walk off and just nonchalantly read that letter.
Okay. Right.
As Leoric sees those other healing potions, he's gonna be like, we might want to check those out before we actually use those.
So as you walk off to read the letter that was written to Tiberius, I need you to make I need a straight intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody do that for me, please?
I got you. What was it again?
Intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
That
it
is
should be a +3.
+3.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Want me to just roll
do
it?
a +3. There we go.
That is an 11.
An 11. So as you're trying to read the letter, you actually recognize some words as this weird sort of amalgamation of, it seems like, different languages and syntaxes that make up this letter, and you're really unable to decipher much other than it seemed urgent and it was addressed to Tiberius. And that's really all you can make out. You do not speak this language.
Thank you.
Also, I'll say that, let me see, passive. Let's see. Leoric, what is your passive perception?
15.
15? Okay, that's enough. You begin to hear footsteps coming from the direction of the portal, which is north and west,
Okay.
and also where some of the guards ran off, which is south and west. They don't sound like they're running, but it's a slow sort of march of footsteps.
All right, I'm going to take the armband off of this shriveled corpse,
Okay.
and
Is there
just gonna
anything
hold
else on the shriveled corpse? Can I
it. That
do
would
a
have probably
roll?
been included with the other stuff that we found.
It has been.
Oh. Oops.
So that, Kaelin, what are you doing?
I'm looking at a book.
That's all.
I'm trying to hide the book from my friends.
You are. They do not see you from where you are. You are obscured by the platform.
That's why I went there, you know.
Yep. Okay. But yeah, so you begin to hear these footsteps, and I'll say that Vix and Crane, you two are both also close enough to hear it as well.
Do I hear them? Is that what you said?
No, you don't hear a thing.
All right.
You're reading the book.
I looted the body, correct?
We
Like,
collectively looted.
yeah.
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 One of us is short, though.
I'm just gonna look in the direction that I hear the footsteps and say, well, it sounds like we have more company coming.
Where do you hear this?
Up that way and down that way.
Wait, which way does he point? So, northwest or northeast, and then southwest?
Northwest and then southeast.
I think I hear them too. I think he's trying to say they're coming from the portal.
Do I hear them talking about this, Mumbles?
Nope, you're reading your book.
Okay.
Although you do hear over everything, you hear, Kaelin, you hear someone whistle at you.
I'm gonna look up.
Okay. Standing, as you're looking sort of south and east from you, tucked behind one of the buildings there, you see the young man who was on the executioner's platform, and he is waving his hand at you to come towards him.
All right. I'm going to put the book in my regular pack, not in the bag of holding.
Okay.
And I'm just going to step back and I'm going to look over at everyone and be like, hey, everyone, come this way. Come this way. And I'm going to, whether they do or not, start following him over.
Okay. Okay, so y'all are gonna follow him?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Into the unknown.
Copyright strikes.
That was my singing.
is it loads?
Wait.
While we're walking, I'm going to ask what happened to the guard.
This is going to load slowly.
That's right.
I didn't see.
You don't need to know what happened to the guard.
Mumbles, what did I read in my book while I was doing that? Did I get anything or?
You now have arcane knowledge that you didn't have before as it relates to casting spells.
Interesting. Zoom, zoom, zoom. It's
Let me know when
black.
that's loaded for all of you.
It's black.
Says I did not own a token of vision.
It's just dark.
It is a starry night with cursors.
Look, the star Vic.
You have become the stars.
What about the
I
now?
think it's smiley face.
Nope. If you have a global light source, you have to move it once, I think, according to Masters.
It worked the other day. Yep, it worked the other day.
That was then. This is.
Yeah, things that work during setup never work during actual games.
Interesting. I seem to be moving something. I can't find it anymore.
What do we still know?
Nope.
Nothing.
And how about now?
Negative.
Negative.
Okay. Well, that didn't work. I was trying to take y'all back to the big map. Okay, the big.
We're on Quora.
Yeah, that's the big map.
Oh, is it?
That's the big city
probably
map.
why it's not working.
Yeah, that is the city map, Kuroa.
Do you
We
think
haven't
it
been
would
on
be
this
too
map yet.
big and that's why we're not seeing it?
They have.
We started on the world map, then we went to the stronghold, and then we went to the one that we were just on.
I have
Those are the maps we've seen.
basically, I have a party token set up. And I have
we
a
all have observer.
observer. Yep.
on
All
it.
players, and I did it individually.
Does the token itself have vision?
It should. Oh my gracious. How about now?
Move it after you do that.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Nope, still nothing.
Mm-mm.
That is crazy, man. Okay, well, the map is in the Discord, by the way. Like, this is why this exists. The map is in the Discord. It is the city map.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's what it looks like.
Wow, I've never seen that before.
On maps?
Yeah, it's in the
at the very
maps.
top.
The very top?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so you'll see that there's an area, all right, just east of the number 3, right across the water, right there, that open area. That's where y'all currently are.
There's the number 3.
Yep. You have to zoom in. The map is labeled for you with a legend and everything.
There's 12. There's 14. There's 18.
It's at the very center
Found
in
it.
the water.
Oh, I see 3. Ha!
And you are just west of that. I mean, west of that in that sort of open area right there.
Cool beans.
Alright.
All right, so you follow this young man, the one that you had saved, and he leads you south. Okay, he's taking you south, down along, through the buildings, through back alleys and streets that he seems to know extremely well. You can tell that this is definitely a practiced sort of walk for him. And as he leads you, he brings you up to what looks to be like a cellar door. It's not, doesn't have a lock or anything on it. It's just 2 sort of medium-sized metal doors that lead down into the ground. And he opens it up, just like points to himself, waves his hands to follow, and walks down into this, through these cellar doors.
Is there anything special I see? Is there anything kind of curious about this, except for it being a regular old cellar door?
You, at this point, do not notice anything unusual about it. It
Oh,
just
that's
looks like it
cool.
leads down under the ground.
I'm going to just look at everyone else in the party.
I'm just gonna follow.
Yep, just gonna follow.
Can I roll an insight check?
I'll follow.
Insight would be more if you were trying to gather his intentions. If you're trying just the overall space, that'd be a perception check.
I was thinking his intentions, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Nice.
100%, he believes that the best thing for you to do is to follow him down into the cellar, and nothing about him makes you feel like he's taking you into danger.
Okay. And I guess follow him.
Well, if everyone else is doing it, I'll follow.
Kaelin shrugs his shoulders and follows along.
Yeah, Vix is hesitant, but if everyone else is going, she tags along.
Wallashan hangs back and watches and follows, but at a significant distance.
Okay. So has everyone gone down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Jolin's still
Now this
outside.
one. Jolin follows you all along.
Oh, okay, good. Ooh, them.
Hey, I can see on this map.
Jolin, you see, seems to have a strange affinity for staying close to Leoric.
It moved for a second and then it stopped. Oh, there it goes. Oh.
How long has it been since I murdered a man?
I'd say walking through and everything, it's been probably 30 minutes.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
I am no longer hazardous. Well, as hazardous.
So you follow down this a very steep set of stone stairs, and you're led through several different narrow corridors, some of which, you know, it's only one wide. And for some of you that are larger, you really do have to kind of turn and hunch down to make sure that you fit through. Eventually, you're led through an iron gate across a wooden platform and into this room. And in this room, it smells like sewage. But what also strikes you, for those of you who know what it is, you see gears turning and turning and turning, several sets of gears, all seemingly doing a different task in what to you seems like a sewer. Is everyone loaded in?
Do I? Yeah, the animation keeps stuttering on me, but I'm loaded in.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
It starts and stops.
Okay.
That's how the gears are turning.
Okay. Do I recognize what these gears are doing? Or can I infer what they're doing?
Roll a straight intelligence check.
16.
I have to have a picture of said pocket watch.
I wish I was smart.
I'm not smart enough to realize that I need to be smart.
My boy has not picked up a book in a long time.
What's a book?
I have a book in my pack.
Did you roll?
Oh, 16. Sorry.
16? You're sort of with your background and where you grew up, you're kind of familiar just in general with how these sort of gear machines work. With the way that it's set up, you really can't deduce specifically their task. But you did notice as you walked through to get here, a number of what looks like like a series of chambers and dams that seem to open and close in semi-regular intervals, and it seems like these could work. Some of these gears could work some of those.
Okay.
Essentially allowing water to move at different rates through the sewers and tunnels that you came through. Against the far wall stand 3 figures: a human woman, a half-elf man, and a small halfling man.
They look super fun.
Also not pictured here because I didn't want to slow all of your computers to a halt. You've seen so far probably a good 10 or 15 people come out of the different rooms, chambers, and different gates, and they come in and out. They check the gears. They look at the three people standing against the wall. Some of them, nod their head in deference and keep going about their tasks here. The young man whose token will not load, so he's just going to be Shadow Man, walks up to these three figures and begins to speak to them sort of frantically, almost. It becomes very heated very quickly as he talks to them. And y'all do not understand a word they're saying to each other, so what are you doing?
Well,
I'm going to walk up.
Okay. And what do you do?
Walk up behind the boy.
Mm-hmm.
Say howdy to the group in front of me.
So you see the woman turn and look at you kind of over, and I'll move so you can kind of see where he is in it. Kind of look over the young man's shoulder and go, "What? One moment." And she steps around the young man and walks up to you and takes a small necklace out of one of her side pockets and holds it out for you to take. And she says, "Use this." She just holds it out for you.
Can I? Where do I find the link to join Foundry?
General.
It is pinned in general.
It's pinned in general.
Crane, do you take the necklace?
After a pause, I do reach out my hand for the necklace.
Okay. And she gestures for you to put it around your neck.
Crane will do so.
Okay. Wonderful. We should be able to have a good conversation now. And you understand her perfectly.
Alright.
Just
Again, I'll say
to you.
howdy.
It is good that you have followed our young friend here. We have been expecting you in the roundabout way.
Roundabout? What do you mean by that?
Well, we thought you wouldn't be here for a few more months. You are early, but still expected.
Early.
Yes.
And the rest of us don't understand this.
And y'all are looking at Crane, and he slipped this strange necklace over and is now conversing with this woman. And you don't. He's speaking common, but you still don't understand what she's saying, and they're just having a conversation with each other. So quick pause. What are the rest of you doing?
Are
you just listening?
Up against the wall.
I'm trying to look around. Oh, sorry.
Just watching the conversation with curiosity, like, how is this happening now?
I'm ignoring the conversation and looking to see if there are any other dangers in the room.
Okay. You do not notice anything dangerous.
Leoric is trying to study how she's responding to what the half of the conversation he can hear. He's trying to figure out what she's saying based off of what Crane is saying to her.
Okay. Leoric, for you, I want you to make 2 checks for me. I want you to make a intelligence roll, and then, well, actually, I'm trying to think if they're actually the same thing. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, they're actually yeah. So just one. Make a nature check for me.
Nature.
Yep.
Was never good at book studying. 13.
13. Okay. So somewhere deep down in what you are, right, is this innate ability that you have to talk, not necessarily to understand the back, but to talk to essentially what are animals and plants. And in doing so, but also reading them and understanding that gives you an uncanny ability to pick up on cues and words and different things that she's saying, and you can basically tell that she's just greeting him. You don't quite understand the words, but you get the gesture of it just from being able to read body language and pick up on subtle things, the tone of her voice well enough to know that they're just having that she's just casually greeting him at this point.
Mumbles, do I see anybody in black cloaks by any chance?
Roll a perception check.
I don't think I do. 6.
You do not. There's no one in close that you can see. Yes.
With my massive intelligence and big brains, can I try and figure out what kind of language he's speaking? Or at least like what family group? Because like, say like with world,
right,
the world in real life, it's like Germanic or Slavic.
I actually just want to know what languages you speak.
Dang, let me check. Let's see. I can speak Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Okay. So just from your linguistic background, from the languages that you know, you notice that sprinkled in there sounds like an Elvish word here, a Sylvan word there, maybe a little bit of Common. Sprinkled, what would be like what might be some common words in there, but it really is, it's a Creole of what sounds like to you of several different languages that you know, without ever relying heavily on one specifically. So coming back, the woman looks at you, Crane, and goes, "So you can understand me, yes?"
Yes, I can now.
Good. And she snaps and looks over her shoulder, and she gestures for the small halfling to come over, and he comes over, and he's got a handful of necklaces. And he brings them over, and one by one offers them to each of you.
Dang, I'm taking it on.
Thank you.
Is there a name for this mumble?
Yes, it is. If you actually should be able to add it on D&D Beyond. It is called the Amulet of the Polyglot.
Got it.
Well, that seems wondrous.
Really?
See what I did there?
It seems like one of the things that you should never... You get the feeling as you put it on, and you suddenly begin to understand some of the conversations that are happening around you as the people come in and out of this room, that this seems like something that you probably shouldn't take off or lose.
I'm gonna tuck it under my under the front of my shirt.
Agreed.
Like, have you tucked it in your shirt, or are you like you're wearing it and then you've put it underneath your shirt?
I'm wearing it. I'm putting it under my shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I'm tucking mine under my armor. You know, like I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Wearing
it. I just that it's.
It does seem like the kind of thing Kaelin would do. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll wear it alongside.
Whatever. I don't need to know what anybody's saying.
I'll wear it alongside the holy amulet I'm already wearing.
Okay. So do all of
and
you?
I will bow my head in thanks to the halfling. Oh, I forgot to post in Discord. Dang it.
So do all of you take the necklace and wear it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the small halfling and kind of goes back over to where he was standing, and this lady stands over and she goes, "So now all of you can know what I'm saying, yes?"
Yes.
No, my head.
So,
Well, that remains to be seen, but I can actually understand the words coming out of your mouth.
Of course I don't understand.
It is good that you understand me now. My name is Claudia Crescentia. And I am one of the captain of the guards in this city.
Can you spell that?
Yes, I should be able to type that word. Okay. I also, for the last 2 years, have helped lead a group known as Freya's Hand with these 2 gentlemen behind me. And she points to the one directly behind her. That there is Lars. And then she points over to the halfling man and goes, and that is Avinda.
And what race was Claudia?
She is a human.
And Lars was what? Sorry.
Well,
Half elf.
Yep. Laura,
Got it.
you just by looking at his feature, he appears to be half elf.
well, I know that Freya sent us here.
Indeed, she did.
I know that she sent. What purpose and why? Why us?
Yes, that is a good question. One that I hope that she would have answered, but since she has not, I will do so in her stead. Our way of life has been under attack for more than 300 years. We are ruled by an empire that cares so little for its people. We live under the rule of an emperor that killed the gods. What kind of man does that? But one who is truly evil. And so centuries have passed and we have lived and they have crushed us underneath their boot heel. And then out of nowhere Freya came and she found us, and she points back behind to Lars and Ovinda and some of the other people, and she brought us together just as she has brought you together and brought you here to us. We are fighting what I hate to say seems many times like a losing battle as we try to, well, to be frank, to overthrow an empire.
Does seem like an impossible task.
And besides this killing of the gods, what exactly do they do that's so terrible, as they are the rule of law?
Indeed they are. But they have executions for people who are innocent, who have done nothing wrong, but maybe looked in the direction of someone who is important in the wrong way. They take almost everything the farmers grow and send it to the people who live in their palaces and strongholds. They spend all of the city's money on defenses and new weaponry so that they can defend against threats that they themselves have created. Sure, they may be the rule of law, but they crush us underneath it.
You say they've
That
created
seems like a.
weapons that they're
It just
fighting
seems like
against.
a political. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You say they've created weapons that they are now fighting against. What does that mean?
No, they are fighting against threats that they themselves have created. They went into the barren wastelands in the east and have let anything that with half a brain has wandered through now. Before that area was closed off and people knew better than to go there, but now all sorts of monstrous creatures come through. And the poor people are just left defenseless in its wake, but the big cities, of course, are guarded.
I see.
You know, It just sounds like
Just
government.
creatures.
It just sounds like a regular government, and it's clunky. The government kind of stinks sometimes. And, yeah.
I do not think that people starving and being murdered is something that is political.
But what's to say that whatever you replace, it won't be worse?
Why would it be worse? We are smart people.
There's been
We know how we believe that we could do things right and do things better. We have the best intentions. Why would it be worse? How could it be worse than 300 years of murder and famine and slavery? Tell me,
And-
what's worse than that?
a government that could go and create genocide, take away even more than what you've already been taken away. There is worse out there.
I guess in
Yeah.
our worst case scenario, we live another 300 years in what is essentially bondage, and you get to go back to your homes.
But what does this have to do with us?
Unfortunately, in the position we are in, we do not always attract the most powerful or capable people. You can understand that fighting something as large as an empire is a hard sell to people. And so we requested that Freya help us in some way. And you are the help that she sent. She said she would go and she would find the best of the best and bring them to us to help us in our mission.
It looks like she lied. Sorry,
Well,
that was...
Tommy, I have a
I hope that is not the case.
I'm not sure why I'm here.
I can't speak for any of these other folks here. I mean, we've all just met, really, but I'm not much of a fighter.
But whenever you are part of a rebellion, whenever you are fighting against something, you don't always need the best warrior. Sometimes you need good teachers. You need those who are very intelligent, those who know how to organize things and can work on the logistics and movement. And there are many things in many parts of this, and unfortunately, we are only a few right now and are short of help, but are hoping to grow.
Well, what would you like us to do now? Now that we're all here.
Well, you managed to help us greatly by saving Titus. And she points over to the young man who you saw on the platform earlier. His father is the governor of the city, and he is, while I believe maybe a little overly enthusiastic, he is well connected, and the knowledge that he knows could help us greatly. I believe in terms of specific tasks, him or Lars will probably have that for you. You can feel free to talk to them about it.
Exactly was Titus on the platform? Why was that paladin-looking fellow about to take his life?
Yes.
Yeah.
His father found out that he had sent some correspondence to us, mostly to Lars, who is underground most of the time. He cannot be up on the surface, as the guard is looking for him constantly. And they found this correspondence between him and his father had him arrested just for associating with us. Everything else that they said was a lie. He killed no one. He stole nothing. He simply wrote letters to Lars, and that was enough for his own father to have him executed. These are the type of people who you are dealing with.
Well, hopefully it'll be all worth it.
I certainly hope so, or I wouldn't still be here. And after a second, you kind of hear somebody clear their throat back behind her. Boy, if you got a minute, I'd like to say something. Lars kind of steps up, kind of looking at you. You know, I'm not really the brightest kind of guy. I'm not really the best in any one thing. But what I do know is that my people are suffering. And they're suffering bad. And we have been for a long time. And if you don't think you're a bunch of empire breakers, so be it. Alright? That's a hard sell. First day. I get it. But there's so many other things that you could start to do that would help us and help people. That's kind of a noble goal in and of itself, right? Helping people.
Yes.
Fair enough. So how about we find things for you to do around the city that helps people. And if it helps us, we'll just call that a bonus.
I think that'll work for me. How about
I can
you?
get behind
Oh,
that. One quick question. What's
Sure.
this? And I hold up the bracelet with the tassel on it.
And Claudia speaks up first. Yes, that is the citizen's mark. And there are several of them. So the citizen's mark is 3 things in 2 pieces, okay? And she holds up her own, and you see that it is a gold bracelet with a blue tassel. The color represents your standing, where you are in society. Aurum is the highest. Argenti, just below it. Eris, the lowest mark. If you see someone without the mark, they are either a criminal or a slave. The color around it indicates your specific station or vocation. For me, since I am a member of the guard, I wear the blue on my band. Just below it, and you look below the bracelet, and there's like this dark sort of tattooed marking, is the symbol of the month that you were born. And it helps to identify you in the record books that are held in the Citadel, to make sure that every citizen is properly held to their mark.
Do you think that it would be smart of us to get that added mark along with these bracelets, bands that we stole?
Yes, that is why Titus is so important. See, the bands are easy enough to come across, and so are the small colored strings that we have as well. That is easy enough to forge. What we did not have is the proper imperial mark to make the citizen's mark with the imperial seal underneath it. But Titus has delivered that to us. And so now we can properly replicate a citizen's mark. And we will definitely give that to you all before you leave, lest you go above ground again and be immediately thought a criminal and arrested.
Yeah, they called us assassins.
Yes,
The
unfortunately,
people that,
our reputation preceded you on that.
the people that don't often have these marks, when do these marks get given? And what happens when people don't have them? Are they just outcasts with society?
You receive your mark on your 3rd birthday. You receive your band when you turn 12. Your station is your station. Your vocation, most likely, that of what your father or mother were, unless you joined the legions. That is truly the only way to ascend. It is how I became who I am. I was the daughter of a couple of farmers, and now I am a guard captain. But you get it early, very early, as soon as they believe that you could fully withstand the pain of receiving the mark, for it is burned into your skin. And she sort of, the whole time that she's talking to you, she's sort of rubbing it with her opposite thumb as she sort of speaks to you about it, almost remembering her own experience at receiving it.
But why could they not get this mark at a younger age when children don't develop their memories yet? You know, when they first come to be born, like within the first year. Why couldn't they do that then? Why wait for the pain to come and be there?
Because pain is a universal language, and the Empire speaks it well. Why would they want you to forget receiving your mark? It essentially is who you are.
Do you have...
This is all rather disturbing information.
Yes, do not be caught without one.
Do you
Never
have...
lose the band once you receive it. It is not common for someone not to have one. To not have a band makes you a slave or a criminal, and criminals are in the jails. Someone walking around without the band and without someone else to accompany them is either an escaped slave or an escaped criminal and is held on sight. I know that because my men and women do it every day.
Is there a list of all of the variations so we would be able to study it and know who we're interacting with on the surface?
Ah, yes, absolutely. Just a second. And she snaps again and signals the halfling over, and he hands her a rather large book out of his pack. It's very thick. It's bound in a very nice leather. There's stitching on the edges of it. This right here, we prepared for you to be sure that you would know what to expect when you got here, that you could learn about our way of life. And she holds the book out for you to come and take, Kaelin.
I'll take it.
As long as you are wearing the amulet, you will be able to read it, and you will be able to understand what people are saying. I'm sorry to say that we really have no other way other than for you to slowly learn our language and customs. Which I hope you will do, because besides the Empire, we are a beautiful people, and our spirit is strong.
I reckon I have a few questions.
And you may ask them.
These monsters, do they, mentioned, are they drawn to power?
What
Or
kind of power?
any kind of power, any display of ability? Is that what they're attracted to? Or
No. They are simply drawn to us, to people, to civilization, like a dog is to a piece of meat. They are simply something for them to consume.
so they're out to eat? Alright.
It would certainly appear that way.
Where do they come from, do you know?
I do know. If my thing loaded properly. They come from the place that we call the Rumelda Waste. It is very far east of here, way far east, past even the Imperial City and the Holy Forest. It is far east. But of course, as with any great threat, nothing stays far away for long.
Are they
Eventually-
natural to your world?
I don't believe that anything here is, since the Empire, is truly natural. I'm sure that you noticed that you came through the portals, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
From what we know, so did the Emperor. So did the Empire. We lived here in our lands, our ancestors, with the gods. Sure, they fought from time to time. Tribes fought, cities skirmished, one lord against another. But for most of it, we had peace. Everything was balanced. And then the Emperor came and slew our gods and our people. And he conquered us. And I guess, as unnatural as he is, so are some of the beasts that now make this place home.
If he was able to slay your gods, what is he?
We do not know. We don't know what he is. We're not sure how he got the power to slay them. But they call his sword the God Killer. And they say it glows brighter than the sun when it is out of its sheath. Although none of us here have ever been to the Imperial City to see him in person.
About Freya, she said she was a goddess. How did she get out of this mess? Is she the only one left?
She did not tell us that. All we know is that she survived. And so far that has been enough for us. She has proven herself to each of us time and time again. She saved my life, she saved Lars. And Ovinda is Ovinda. He was just always here.
Was she in the original gods, or do you think that she came from another world to see what was happening here?
No, she was one of the gods here. Yes, she presided along with the All-Father and his sons and daughters and friends who made this place their home in the mortal realm.
And is the All-Father still here?
I'm afraid he is not. From what we know, Freya was the only survivor.
Sure seems like we're picking the underdog here.
Indeed, you could say that. But, we have seen enough to know that sometimes the underdog wins.
Since we've... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Throughout this conversation, Wallashan just mumbles to himself, "Oh, we're all gonna die, but it's fine." And he walks over to the half-elf and shows him the letter while everyone else is talking to see if he can read it to him.
That's the halfling.
The halfling. Yeah, the person with the red face.
Think like Frodo, but with red hair.
Okay.
What, since we have been brought here, what is our next mission? Is what I'm gonna ask.
Well, we'll get to the letter in just a second.
Okay.
Well, so the next thing that we have for you here, well, how do we say this? We want to kidnap Titus's father.
Awesome.
We need the information he has. We need to know who his contacts are, and how certain shadier organizations get in and out of the city. In fact, you met someone of one of these shady organizations. I'm sure you had the pleasure of meeting Tiberius.
Golden fellow.
Gave
He
me
was
this
say a
scratch
pleasure.
here. Yes, he gave me this nice scratch right here.
Luckily for him, he got away.
Yes, they are
Yeah.
slippery like that. He is a member of the Order of Shadows.
Shadows.
Sounds like good people.
What a
And they are
This
impossible
order-
to kill.
This Order of Shadows. Why are they the ones that are in control and not the regular? Are they the regular government here?
No, the Order of Shadows serves directly at the will of the Emperor. And in fact, it is more so even than that. They are so well integrated because not only is the Order of Shadows maybe military in nature in some ways, they are also clergymen. They are priests and head all of the temples in the Empire. Each one is over a temple, and that is where their members gather. And they are as capable as they are fanatic.
Say they are clergymen. What or who exactly are they worshipping? Where do they draw their power from?
There is only one place, one thing for you to worship. And that is our Emperor.
Getting to understand
Gershon
how he might have
Well-
killed the gods now.
Gershon demands that all bow before him and pay him tribute. He is God here. He named the temples after his wife, of course, because what else would a maniacal madman do to appease someone of her ilk?
But do people pray to him like a regular god, or
Of course they do.
does he hear them?
They gather
Does
at
he
the
actually
temples.
hear them?
Who knows? In the same mysterious way, sometimes prayers get answered and sometimes don't. Although it seems a bit suspicious that the prayers of the rich seem to get answered first.
About this Order of Shadow.
We gathered the same in the temples now for Gershon as we did before with the old gods, from what they tell us.
About this
when we
order-
first sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Alright. About this Order of Shadows, you say they're impossible to kill. In my experience, nothing meets that description.
And then at that point, you see Lars kind of shift uncomfortably. He goes, "Right, I set good old Tiberius in the heart and twisted it and watched him bleed out onto the ground myself. And yet, where was Tiberius today? Standing nice and lively, ready to chop someone else's head off."
I mean, there are prayers that could be said and spells that can be cast that can reverse any sort of damage if you catch it soon enough.
Well, just
How
you
can
know,
you be sure that an ally didn't come up and cast something to make him come back to life?
Does Tiberius have any brothers?
there's stuff you can do for that. And he kind of
For death?
Yeah, he kind of looks over to Claudia, and she kind of looks back. What would you do to to bring someone back from the dead?
I mean, you would have to catch it early enough. There are some spells that I heard of that someone could be dead for about a week, and you can revive them back to normal, as if nothing happened. It's not. It's used not as often, but from where I'm from, it can be done.
Typically requires something of great worth, though.
You are talking about magic. Yes?
Yes.
And where you are from, you can do that with no fear of death yourself?
My head perks up in this conversation.
Not really. I mean, the gods are a big part of life as a whole. They give us power so that we can go and help others.
God's just getting in the way, in my opinion.
Well,
I tell you,
they can be challenging, but you know, gods can be challenging. But if you work hard for them and do what is right, they will give you what you need and help you.
none of us here have ever seen anyone use magic up close. Except for, well, even then we watched you from a distance today.
Leoric is
That
going
is
to walk
Not
up.
something that happens here.
Leoric's going to walk up and produce a flower and hand it to her.
She just kind of looks at it, both, like, you can see the awe in her eyes from what you've just done, but also there's something about the way you can see, like, her lips sort of trembling in this fear of what you've just done in front of her. You can tell that
What?
she's
So we're gonna go.
magic up close. How do you
What?
do
So we're
that?
gonna go and. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep on interrupting. Oh, God, sorry.
You're fine. Go ahead.
So what? We're gonna go and get thrown into prison for doing a little. Ooh, here's a little budding flower. You know, it's ridiculous. What? Are we
Magic
gonna get thrown in
is very
jail for
different
something
where
like
you are
this?
from. It is not like that here. Children who are seen to have magical inclinations, they are gathered up and they are sent away.
Where do they end
Yeah,
up?
this right here is not an inclination. This took lots of years of practice.
They are sent to. Give me just a minute because I had that.
Thing. They sent to a fun little summer camp and never given back.
They are sent to the assembly of the Obsidian Seal, and their families never see them again.
Oh, so
Magic
it
is
is a fun
strictly
little
controlled by the Empire. It is not something you just walk around and do. It will mark you worse than not having a band.
Speaking of magic, when we first arrived, we were in the, I believe she called it the stronghold, Freya's stronghold, through the portal. Is that a place that we can get back to easily, or is that a place that is difficult? I saw the portal still remained after we passed through it.
That is not something that I can tell you. I have never been through the portals.
Are the portals open to the public, or a certain class, perhaps?
No, the portals are strictly closed except for official Imperial business. We have actually never seen someone walk through one here, until you came out of it. Normally they are very heavily guarded, but today was a special day, seeing as how, a governor's son was set to be hanged. I think that is why Freya chose now to send you. It seemed to be the perfect storm.
She did mention that something had happened
love this storm.
that she thought it would not happen yet. And she accelerated her plans for us.
It would certainly appear that way. We were not expecting you for some months.
Is early good?
It could be.
I do have one question, and I know it's going back to what we were talking about, but I have this ability to go and make these little cuts disappear. If I was just to go up to myself and do this, and I touch my arm, and I do lay on hands to cure myself, would I get in trouble for this?
If someone saw you above do it, yes. You could be arrested for such things. There are places within the Empire where maybe it is not the worst thing that you could do to use magic, but here, in Koroa, this is... These people, they love the Empire. That is not true everywhere, but it is true here. And they follow its rules. And they do so with happy hearts. I cannot tell you how many times I sit in my office and get letters and summons from important people turning on their neighbors for things they believe to be crimes against the Empire.
You say a city of Koroa?
That is correct.
Tell us more about this. We are clearly unfamiliar with the area, and where are we?
Well, right now you are in the place that we call the Clockwork Sewers. Everything that you see here controls the different viaducts and aqueducts that run underneath the city. So that way running water can get to all parts of it.
Where are these ducks at?
Well, you came through a lot of them.
I didn't see a single duck.
Ducts. You know, like aquifers,
You know, the
like
thing- No,
So-
you know, a duct where the water runs through it and it goes to another place.
Well, yeah, I mean it rolls off its back because that's the hydrophilic thing on their
okay.
feathers and whatnot.
I feel as if maybe the amulet doesn't work as good for you as it does for other people.
Well, Leoric.
Wallashan is
Sorry. A common word that is used in society is duct, which is basically a rod that is hollowed out, and water and other things can be transported through them to other places.
Oh, you mean like
Kind
a
of like a
ditch?
straw, you know? Yes.
Things
But
So why didn't you just say ditch?
Only the foothold from Alabama is like, yep, that's a ditch.
Wallashan is over here while this halfling is very interested in the conversation going on, and he rolls sleight of hand and attempts to loot this kid.
Dude.
Pickpocket.
Pit
I make a
pocket
perception check to see if I see that
Titus?
happening.
or the
I
half.
want to percept that.
Okay, so I roll sleight of hand, right?
Are you trying to pickpocket Titus or the halfling?
The
Okay.
halfling. I don't know who is.
The one you're standing directly next to with the picture.
No, wrong game.
Yes, the
Oh, yeah.
halfling.
Okay, because the halfling is looking right at you. It's like staring at you because you came over with this letter that you were going to ask him about. So you're
Okay.
going to attempt to pickpocket him while he looks at you and the letter you're holding?
No, see, in my head, he's like looking away from me and not paying attention because he's not answered my question yet.
We're just waiting to come back to you.
Okay.
Okay, so good point though. So to bring back to the letter, As you go to walk over with this letter and you produce it, and you hold it up to Ovinda to sort of help you decipher it, you realize that while you're wearing the amulet, it appears to you in common, and you can read the letter yourself.
Okay,
He's
so
looking at you, wondering why you need his help. But, can you
So-
not read?
Wallashan just puts it back in his pocket and says, well, I can read. I just wanted to know if you could.
Yeah, no problem. If you ever need something read, you can bring it to me.
And Wallashan just nonchalantly acts like that conversation didn't happen and just comes and stands over here.
So long, friend.
I think we found our favorite NPC.
Ovinda dropped over dead of a heart attack. Can't take him with you.
No.
Why does this always happen to me?
You've begun to have this conversation. You're sort of beginning, to increase your knowledge and such. But I mean, time is sort of beginning to slip by as you realize. So, with that being said, however, let's take a quick 5-minute break.
All right.
Hot chocolate time.
See you guys
Yay.
in 5 minutes.
We'll come back for more interrogations.
Interrogation.
Okey-dokey.
the Order of Shadows is given as his title, and next to it you see that it says next to his title where it says Order of Shadows, it also says Obelisk, just kind of out of nowhere. It says Obelisk. And it is a letter detailing justice. He's been given an order to go to Kuroa and to essentially seed out any small sparks of rebellion and subterfuge in the city. And he's been given the seal by the Emperor to essentially, it's his license to kill letter for anyone who he believes to be a threat to the Empire in Kuroa. And that is your knowledge, and you can keep that to yourself or share that with the group. That is completely up to you. But you are the only one with the letter.
I'm back, but anybody else is.
Okay. Man. Do y'all have any idea how hard it is coming up with voices for NPCs?
Masters
Like,
might have an idea.
Like,
No,
and
he doesn't.
I decided to go with this
everyone.
like sort of Aussie accent for freaking Lars, and I'm already regretting it. So I'm like, I don't know how to make that sound Australian.
My first 5 or 6 things that I said weren't anywhere near the accent that I had.
Hey, I don't know what it is about Leoric, but I got the accent down pat.
I wonder.
I mean, like, Lars's answers to any of y'all's questions for the next 10 minutes is just going to be crocodile.
Crikey!
Crikey.
Hey, did you get it from over there on the Bobby?
Oh, that was real bad.
It was supposed to be.
Go to Outback Steakhouse. So, that's all I got. Man,
I mean, it's a lot better. My voice for Weslie is just my voice, but slightly deeper.
I'll be right back, guys.
Got any
Yeah, now that the
great?
BRB is over.
I'll be here.
Everyone, just let me know when they're back.
All right, if anyone's not back, say something.
Not back.
Oh, man.
I have a question when we start back up.
Let's see, who am I still waiting on? I am waiting on
Bless you.
Merinos. I'm waiting on Crane.
I'm here. I just got here.
Here's Merinos. Am I
Welcome
waiting
back.
on Wesley? You were muted. Are you back?
No, I'm here.
Alright, Leslie's back.
Okay,
It sounds
everyone's
like
back.
everyone's back but Crane. I think that's all we're waiting on.
Why are you sneezing?
I can hear you.
I'm back. Sorry.
And the
Don't
ducks
apologize.
walked up to the lemonade
Howdy.
stand, said to the man, "Run, Mr. Hey,
Got any
hear it,
grapes?
got any aquifers?"
I hear a crane.
I'm sending a picture of my hot chocolate for no apparent reason. I just wanted to show it off because I think my mug is pretty.
I
That
like my
seems
mug.
a female thing to do.
Oh, mug.
Yeah, I like my mug.
Alright.
I can send a,
Alright, are we all back? I
I
think
can-
we're all back.
I can send a
I
picture of
think
my mug
so.
too.
Yay,
My mug is a
I like
fox.
mug.
So,
I'm just eating leftover burger with espresso, coffee, chocolate. beans.
Right, Claudia. When we were wandering, actually, Masters Mumbles first. Did I notice a lot of people who looked like us? Because we're an interesting group. Are there
I would
other
say,
giant walking robots and?
have you been intentionally looking for this, or are you just glancing around right now?
No, I had been looking in the past. I hadn't said I was looking in the past, so I guess it'd be my passive. But
Well, then how about now you just go ahead and make me a perception check.
that's 11 plus. I don't have my character sheet open. 12.
Well, okay. You just because of the amount of time that's passed with that, you sort of notice as people have come in and out. You have noticed this is a very specific breakdown. Okay. But I'm going to tell you roughly, you've seen probably 35, 40 come through. You've seen 20 humans, 10 half-elves, a dwarf, 5 halflings, an elf, and 3 dragonborns.
Okay, so Claudia, would we stand out in a crowd more than usual? And I sort of point up at my horns.
Well, I would say that, yes, you probably would, if I'm being honest. You look, just all of you together, just look kind of, well, to be blunt, strange. But honestly, you really only look sort of out of place here in Karo. There are many more diverse places in the Empire.
Speaking of the Empire as a whole, do you have any maps of the city, the Empire as a whole, anything that we could see? Where is this governor that you were speaking of that you wanted us to acquire for you?
Certainly. Ovinda, give them the maps. And so Ovinda kind of comes up and he produces.
So is Avinda not one of the leaders of the group? It's just Claudia and Lars?
So you get the feeling by their interaction that he definitely defers to the two of them, but just standing with them and how you see everyone else coming in and out of the room and looking at him, you tell that he's above them in his station.
Okay, all right.
So the glances look like other people hold him higher than themselves, but he doesn't seem to. He kind of does what Claudia tells him to.
Okay.
So Ovinda comes up and he produces 3 maps. All right. One is very large and looks to be as if it is an attempt to be a map of Aurelia as a whole. And it is the map that y'all have seen in the Discord. What you'll notice is that on the map is certain cities and stuff on there, but there seems to be a lack of very specific features, and you notice that there are pretty much no military installations on the large map. Like, nothing. It's just a few cities and some rather large landmarks, and other things seem to have been left out. Just from looking at maps before, you realize that nothing looks quite that blank and plain. Also, there are 2 other maps. One is of the city, which of course y'all have now seen, and it is much more detailed. It appears to be an actual official survey and map made specifically for the city, for the Empire itself, not for just any individual, but for actual Imperial purposes. And then the final map is much more crude, and it is what looks to be sort of a regional map of Koroa and some of its neighboring, like, nearby cities and towns. All of those maps are in the Discord already for y'all to look at. That is the Far Reaches map, the Coroa map, and the Provincia Victo.
Okay.
And he hands you the maps, and you have them now. I think that you will find that most of that will be to your satisfaction, although besides the one of the city, the Empire is awfully strict about who it gives its maps to. And I can't think of the last time I knew of someone had one drawn.
I'm gonna put those in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Is it illegal to go and draw a map?
No, it is simply that the Empire likes their secrets. Why would they let someone commission a map that would tell you where their fortifications are? Where they house their legions and such?
And did she point
I
out where
only
the...
have the one to give you because I am captain of the guard and we all got one.
And did she point out where the governor is?
Yeah, so if you're looking at the map...
Ooh, I am.
The governor is...
Number 10.
I gotta blow mine up.
15.
Gotta blow it up.
If you blow it up, then we can't use it.
You are a smart Alec, and you are going to die.
I'm used to this. Master says the same thing every Tuesday.
Alright. So, the governor is has a place where you will see the number 1 on the map, the Citadel.
Okay.
He lives
And we started at number 3, is that right?
no, you started just west of number 3
West.
in that open area
Oh,
where
okay.
like the statue is.
Got it.
It was
okay.
not numbered.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And what is number 3?
Number 3 is the Temple of Oa, which is the Emperor's wife.
Wait, okay, I'll ask in character. Is the wife still living? Because I
Indeed, she
heard
is.
of, because typically, from what I've experienced, you either name a temple after a god or a dead person. And if you
Indeed.
want to have someone who's dead, you name someone. Anyway.
But
we're
if you
tradition,
think that
but-
you are a god, then you can name your temple after whoever you want.
I assume.
Who would stop him? Who would tell him not to name a temple? You would die. Who would die over the naming of a temple? You just go there, say your prayers, and go home.
I guess.
It was different before the Empire. But this is how things are now. So, to be specific, we would like to kidnap the governor. But we want to do so smartly, discreetly, and with as little loss of life as possible. So, 2 days from now, there is what we call the Festival of Dancing Lights. And it is put on by the local magical assembly here. It is sort of
Wait a second. I thought magic was not allowed. Dancing. Oh, sorry. That was a different character voice. What do you mean? There's.
I said that the magic was
There's
strictly
magic?
controlled by the Empire. They sanctioned it. So our local assembly of the Obsidian Seal sort of host the event, but mostly it is just, you know, something for the common people to go and do to forget, you know, how bad their day-to-day life is. So we have this festival. Now, the day after enjoying the festivities, typically the governor will receive, you know, a few important officials from other cities who traveled to see it. And that is the night that we would like to take him.
You said the day after?
Correct.
So 3 days from now.
Yes. The festival is in 2, but we would like to take the governor on the 3rd day.
Side note, why is my vision flashing?
I have no idea. Why is your vision flashing?
It's getting bigger than smaller than bigger than smaller.
I have no
I
idea.
hope
What
you're
did
not
you
talking
do?
about real life.
No.
Wait, is
I
it doing
hope
this?
you're not.
Yes, it is doing that. What are you doing?
Oh,
Are you turning
What
on
is that?
flashlight?
yeah. Okay, sorry about that.
I don't have
Make
any.
sure I wasn't going crazy. We're good.
It's too late for that.
Fair.
I'll do that again.
Fair.
Because Titus knows better than anyone what the governor's schedule is like, what his how many bodyguards he has at any one time. He has valuable information for us. But we need to do it while he is at his residence. It cannot be done in public.
Where is his residence?
It is number 1 on the map, the Citadel.
I wrote it down in
Your
places.
accent changed real quick just then. Is that taps on necklace? Is that my
That
fault?
was that was the DM talking to you, instead of Claudia. Or were you asking Claudia?
I was asking Claudia.
I already asked Claudia, and then she told us.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean that's why I was confused because it's
Oh.
already been asked.
Sorry, I ditched.
If we were in court, somebody would have said, asked and answered.
Objection sustained.
D&D court.
There is no lawyering here.
Isn't that Mechanist?
You'll also remember from the description,
No, I won't.
right? Whenever you walked into the square and you looked up and you saw the airship in these giant buildings, there seemed to be a building that was a lot taller than the others, where a lot of the airships were going to dock. You kind of get from some spatial awareness that you have a feeling that that's where the Citadel is. It looked big. Otherwise, it would be called the Small Adele. But it is.
Ha 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 ha.
See, there you go. I have a sense of humor as a DM for the ancient black dragon comes out of the sewers and kills you all.
Oops,
See, I laughed. I did a chuckle. I don't deserve to die.
Stop taking notes from my
So-
Sunday campaign.
Wallashan is over here in the corner digging through these barrels to see if he can find anything.
All right, roll
taste.
an investigation check. Yes, I have. Yes, I know exactly what's in the barrels because there is a
Okay.
rogue.
I've not actually rolled on Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
So
If everything is connected, it should say Merinos and then like inventory spells features. Yada yada.
okay, so I just go to skills and then investigation.
Yes.
Right,
And then
and
you click
then-
investigation. Yep.
Just
There you go.
do I click normal?
Like that.
Oh no, I thought that was. Yeah,
Oh,
click
sorry.
normal because if you say advantage or disadvantage, it'll roll you twice, and then
I got a 1.
that'll.
Yes, you did.
Well,
Well,
well.
DM, what time of day is it?
You have no idea. You are underground.
What time of day was it when we went underground?
Roughly 4 p.m.
Wait,
And
doesn't
it's
it
and it's
say,
fall,
like-
so it's starting to get a little. It was starting to get a little dark. It's late fall.
You said that we would be doing this in 3 days' time. Do you have a place that we could stay? Is there a? Would we be safe at an inn, or are there other places that perhaps we could rest?
You are more than welcome to stay here. We have beds and such.
I dropped
Even
the
a
dice.
small kitchen.
Do these rocks move continuously all throughout the night?
Indeed, they do. Rocks, you called them. That is very fun.
Shiny rocks.
Those are We call those gears.
Wait,
But you
I
can
got a
call them rocks
question.
if you want.
Out of character,
Uh-huh.
does anyone have keen mind as a feat?
I don't believe so.
Because technically, if you got that feat, you could be able to tell time all the time
Yep, no one picked it.
and be annoying to your DM. I thought about it, but it didn't fit.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't fit me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing keen about my mind.
That would be hilarious, though.
My mind is very dull.
He remembers everything. He just hasn't learned anything.
It's like a photographic memory.
Actually, it would
but
kind of
none
make
it is
sense. You
being
could always
recorded
find your way through the
actually.
forest.
It's like, I got all these books in my head, I just can't read any of them.
It's like downloading a bunch of books, but it's not actually, you can't actually read any of them. Yeah.
Although there is a place above ground, should we get your bands and marks done, that is called the Hidden Leg. It is down by the docks. Sort of south of Port Octavian, which is where you came from. And we know the person that owns it and could probably get you set up there for a couple of nights until the festival. However, I will say, no matter what, go to the festival. Enjoy it. Learn about us, these people, the people who we want you to fight for, the people whose lives we want you to make better by getting rid of the empire that oppresses them. And in the case that you decide that kidnapping a governor is too much, we have something else that you could do. Something outside the city that needs doing, should you be so inclined. But we can talk about that after the Festival of the Dancing Lights. Would that be fair, as you say?
That sounds
Well, well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have a festival to prepare for, so I believe I shall soon retire to the nearest bed.
Don't we need those cool tats? Nice brand
Indeed.
right here.
I will have a vendor prepare the bands and marks. I will have to warn you, it will be painful.
Oh.
But then it will be over, so good news on that. And she sort of claps her hands, and Ovinda goes about gathering the things, and you all just kind of standing where you are. So whenever Ovinda comes back, he comes back with the silver bracelets, which are called Argenti. Alright? And each one of them has a white tassel on them. A white tassel.
I got a question. It's
Mhm.
kind of out of character, kind of in character.
Sure.
If we were to go and get these marks and brands,
Mhm.
would it not look very fresh? Because I know with brands, they gotta like, especially like heat brands,
Right. So
they kind of peel. They don't look right for a little while, and then they look okay after like 2 weeks.
So to answer that to the best of my ability here, most people who will walk by you, and even guards, as you notice just from being in the square, most will just walk by and will just kind of glance at the band. It's mostly just having it on that just kind of signifies. Should you, for the first little while, come across a very close inspection of the mark, you are indeed right. It would look fresh, and that would be sort of off.
Be sus.
Little thing.
Don't worry, I can smooth talk this out of any
But
situation.
for the most part, you notice that most people would just look for the band.
I think perhaps
know,
you talking
Leoric,
less might help us
If
all.
I'm ever in danger and I need to be sweet talked out of it, you're gonna do great, bud. I'm so excited to hear from you.
I got you back.
You got my back, and I feel so safe now.
So, Ovindo comes about and he has these bands and he hands them all to you. And then, he has...
What color bands?
They're silver. Argenti. That's what they're called.
Oregano band. Got it.
And, but also, he has a brand in his hand, but it's not like a single brand like you would maybe see like that a modern reserve would see for like cattle or something like that. It looks almost like the inside of a typewriter. It's got a bunch of ends on it that extend out, right? And you can see he flicks a little. He manipulates a couple of buttons on the top, and it will flare out a different brand. And he comes across to each of you one by one and delivers. So we'll start with who's closest there. So
This is when Wallashan starts drinking from his flask.
good to know. We'll just do it this way. Crane, Merinos, you both receive a brand that is a frog.
Frog.
Kaelin, Weslie, Wallashan, and Vix, you all receive the mark of a wolf. Leoric, you receive the mark of a hare.
I'm all alone.
And Jolin receives the mark of a tiger.
Just one
And
hair.
You are now all... Yep.
Just
Now
a
you
single
all
hair.
Just
Just
have to get to brands.
a single hair.
It blends in with all my other ones.
So you are now all branded, and you have all received a Argenti band with a white tassel.
And what does
Wait.
the white tassel stand for?
How painful on a scale of 1 to 10 was it to get branded?
Probably a 12.
Ooh.
It hurt.
You know?
More painful than a.
It's fine.
It hurt.
Leo,
You know
don't
what
even
hurt?
flinch.
You know, my heart hurt a little bit more than my arm. My heart chakra is broken now.
There's some small part of you that wonders as this intense pain like hits your wrist and shoots up your arm from being branded, how someone who is 3 endured this. And why they would do that to someone so young.
Wallashan has flashbacks.
So does Crane.
PTSD.
I used taumaturgy and just screamed really loud when I was doing it.
Wallashan just zones out throughout it as he continues to chug from his flask, and he just glares off into the distance and has flashbacks.
Wallashan, since you keep drinking from your flask, how about you go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, is that?
It's under saves. Next to skills.
We gonna get you up to speed.
Not even drunk.
Not even drunk. He's trying.
You have spent so many nights and so many days and so many nights that turned into days drinking from your flask that this has no effect on you. You are just happily drinking. So Claudia looks at you as a group. Once again, you can go to the hidden lake, and but let me tell you something about the band. You may talk to someone who has the copper band on, or a silver band, but if you see someone with a gold band, don't speak to them. It is not allowed. Do you have any other questions for us before we send you on your way?
For grub around here.
What'd you say?
It's for grub around here.
We have many fine things to eat. I'm sure they'll have something at the inn for you.
No, the inn. I'm guessing the inn is above ground.
Yes, it is.
Do we have any money, or how do we pay for things around here?
Yes, we have coins, gold coins, silver coins, copper ones. Is that similar to you? Yes?
Is it the same as this type of coin? And I pull out one of my coins from where I'm originally from.
Yes. Yes, just like that. This close enough. Most people won't notice.
Out of character, did we split up what we found from those bodies, or does just some other people have it?
It is up to y'all. Did y'all
I'm
split
happy
what
with
you
what I
found?
found.
I'll say that for the purposes of this, that for the money, since it was sort of a group check, I'll say that you split the money, and if anyone, and then whoever else, y'all can figure out the items later. But let's say that you split the money.
Which was
5
Let's-
platinum.
5 platinum,
50
50 gold, 15
15
silver.
That's not
and how many people are
including.
here?
That's not including what Wallashan found. the
Yeah, he
first
found
check.
25 gold.
That sounds
Yeah.
right to me.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 7 of us. And there's 5 platinum. Oh, God, I hate splitting money sometimes.
So
Very
Wallashan,
good.
Wallashan held back 5, and so he's gonna roll. What does he need to roll?
For
Like
what?
he, Wallashan said he only found 20.
No one else was watching you loot, so if you say you only found 20, you only found 20.
And
well, then
I don't think
didn't
anyone
find
would...
any.
Yeah, I mean, no one. I mean, you came out with a letter, but that's.
That was it. Okay.
We
And I don't
found
think anyone would insight check you.
we found a lot of salt on some of these people. Do we know what that was? What's that for? Is that common around here?
I believe it's just salt.
I
So-
thought that
There's
maybe
more-
they were using it for spells.
I was more thinking, Leoric, why, not what?
Or maybe you should say why, not what.
That would tell me that you came across legionnaires. Yes. They had
Yeah.
the big shiny armor, big shields.
Cleaved one right in half.
Sure, good for you then. they are tough.
Really tough. I barely even broke a sweat.
Then that is even better news for us, and it makes me happy that you are here.
Rip
That
that
you
it's
are just the
fine.
kind of
That was
person we
terrifying.
So, the salt is something given to legionnaires, and to be honest, it has value around here. Have you ever had food without salt on it?
Every day.
Okay. Well, to us around here, it tastes like crap. Okay. The food here, for some reason, the beast that we kill, if you eat it, tastes like you have licked the sewer stones. And so salt is valuable because, to be honest, it seems to be the only way that we can eat the food.
Nah, you just ain't preparing it right. I'll teach you how to cook.
Use salt. Please. If you don't have some, I will lend you some of mine to use. You can just pay me back someday. It is bad. Trust me. It may not be the most valuable thing, but to a soldier who may spend a lot of time away from the cities or marching through, it proves to be invaluable to them. And with that, I think we will bid you good night. Titus will take you to the inn above.
Is it safe to be seen with Titus?
He is crafty enough. I don't think anyone will notice tonight. He is not staying with you, however. He will be right back down here. He will just show you the way.
Understood.
Is he going to say this is the way? Never mind.
Way.
Is he gonna have a mask on? Is he gonna have a small green baby? Is he gonna have a spaceship that's almost broken down? Is he gonna be kind of edgy? Is he?
Let's see. Create actor. Black dragon. Black dragon. Black dragon. Okay, where is that?
Is he traveling the galaxy? Is he?
I leave the sewer.
All right, there we go. There's okay. Ancient red dragon. So y'all are dead now.
Is...
Reroll.
Oh my god.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is this Tuesday?
We are just kidding. All right, so Claudia and Lars and Ovinda sort of turn and walk away, and they slip out one of the side passages, and you are left there with
I was gonna bow to them
Titus,
before they
who
left.
sort of weaves his way through you and goes back towards the way you came to take you above to the hidden leg.
Pretty sure that young man just broke me.
Stop standing on me!
Would we please go at the door? I'm getting crowded and I do not like crowds.
I'm gonna try to activate this
Like
scene
this.
again.
Oh god.
I don't own any
Yeah,
token with
right.
vision in this scene.
Gosh almighty.
You don't have any tokens.
Something work. Something, please, God, work.
No, of course not.
Okay, but while I'm waiting on this, however, there's one thing.
That's the map of the city that we're trying to look at, right?
As you all,
Okay.
as you all are sort of filtering out behind Titus.
And where are we exactly?
You are in the Clockwork Sewers, which is
just
near the
totally-
Lock District.
Totally tried to tell you where we were on the map that's on your stream.
Yep.
Didn't work.
Merinos, I need you to roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh, me? A perception check?
Please. Yep.
Uh.
Because everyone is sort of
Oh
starting
god,
to
I
file
can't
towards
do it
the
on the.
exit.
I can't do it on the normal thing. I gotta go on my thing.
Or actually, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception?
Yes.
It is 12.
Okay. So everyone is beginning to sort of file towards the exit behind Titus. And you notice to your left a blue glowing trident on the wall to your left. What do you do?
Oh no. Out of character, I'm having panic attack. In character, he's just gonna walk over.
Okay.
Getting magic
So
items up
You
in here?
walk over and you can see it it looks like when you get up close, the blue you notice looks like water. Like sort of the
That's
reflection of light off the ocean. And it's just a trident right there on the wall. What do you do?
I'm gonna pray to my god, and then I'm gonna say to him, "Where have you been?"
Okay. So Merinos,
Is everything
I'm gonna take you to the one-on-one channel.
Oh no! Oh no! Wait, do I have to go? How?
Wait, do I win it?
How do I? And we're gone.
I like the effect. She really got sucked away.
Do we want to try and figure out
This
money?
one-on-one chat brought to you by Dwarven Forge.
Dwarven Forge. Do we want to figure out money while she's gone? Or
Oh,
do
that
we-
would be a great idea.
That works. So it was like 500 or 100 gold, 1 platinum.
Okay, so-
Is that how it works?
How
Do
much
we
gold
have-
did we all start with?
Alright,
Because I only have
hold on.
15
It's-
But I
right
have a
now.
map
Whatever
up
is on
right
your
now because I
character
just have a
sheet.
It
black
depends on your
screen.
upbringing.
It's 10, 10, and 10
It's not
for
worth it.
money.
50 plus
Correct.
20.
Oh,
Okay.
alright.
So 10 gold is a
I can
platinum,
do that.
10 copper is a gold.
8.
No,
It
yeah.
was,
So-
100.
We can all have
5 platinum, 50
151
gold, 50
silver and somebody will get some extra.
Alright.
So we all get
Yeah,
151
so
silver.
15 gold, 1 silver, and then everybody gets, or somebody gets something extra.
Are we just
So-
splitting the platinum?
Yeah.
15 gold, 1 silver.
Yeah, and then there's 7 silver left over after that.
So everybody but Merinos, because she's not here, gets 1.
Sure.
Actually, no. She can have
Oh.
1 too. Because
Oh, right, Jolin.
Jolin's not here.
So everybody gets 152.
That's what you get for working.
152 silver. So that's
Well, I almost had a 250.
15 gold
2 silver.
and 2 silver.
Well, that's how much we're getting, or how
Alright.
much we should have. Like,
How much you
Sweet.
get.
You're gonna
on top
add
of
that.
whatever your character sheet has.
Yeah.
So,
shoot, where do I find gold on the character sheet?
wait, what's
Go to your
copper?
equipment,
Does, like,
and then up
copper
at the
equals
top it says
anything?
currency.
Oh, wait, no, it does. No.
Equipment. Currency. So I have 15 gold, so add 15 more?
Yep.
And
Wait, are we not doing Electrum then?
No,
Well, Electrum,
Where is
it's
an
currency?
old.
it's an
thing.
old currency. While you guys are doing this, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Inventory.
how many silver?
2.
2 silver?
Yep, 2 silver.
Do I have to go like to edit, or can I add it from my character sheet?
You got it from your
Wait,
character sheet.
you click
Go
on
to-
currency
Yeah,
and
click on
should
currency
be,
where
like,
it's got the
the-
gold, and then you just type in what you get, and then hit add.
I don't.
And don't
see-
forget to add your extra 5 gold
I don't see that anywhere.
on equipment. Up
Brokebutt,
at the
just
top
write
it
it
says
down
currency.
and I'll come help you later.
Okay. Oh, it's at the top right. No wonder it's not like on the. Gotcha.
hmm
Bless it.
So did y'all count? What all did y'all count that I had? Did you count any of it?
I counted the 20 that you told us you had.
Okay. So
So
I have
don't
an
forget to
extra.
write
So,
your 5 extra. So you'll have 20 gold and 2 silver to add. Because that's how math works.
I need to ask a question for the 2 Mumbles when he gets back.
So we need to remember to give Jolin
Well,
15
don't
gold,
hold
1
yourself.
silver.
The
Add button.
need
That would have been so much
bullets.
Mumbles
easier
might
than.
be able to add it.
Well, I'll just throw it in, I'll throw it in general.
I need to remember to conserve those, I guess.
You did it correctly, Wallashan.
Yay! Look at me learning things.
What if I can buy them here?
Or as Leoric calls you, Wallaby.
Wallaby. I'm still
think I-
trying to figure out whose character is what.
I think I'm gonna have
Wait, I'm
literal
Crane,
pet names for
so-
everybody.
If you're watching my
it's
if
one
you're watching
frame.
my stream, I'm
The
throwing
crane is
up
the crane?
Yes.
I'm throwing up everyone's character sheets on my stream whenever we get a point where we're talking a lot. So if you're
Alright.
following along, you can kind of get used to things a little.
I need to put that on my other monitor then. Wish I had 3.
Or your
I
phone.
wish I had 2.
Throw it on your phone if you
Yeah,
want.
I get that.
I wish I
Yeah,
had
that's
one
a
that
good
was
idea,
working.
thank
Yeah, right. I wish I had one monitor.
Yeah, I wish I had more than the 4 that I have.
Oh,
I sound like Gabby.
Just-
Wow.
For those who
Which
don't know me, by the way, I will be. I'm assuming Mumbles will tell you. I don't know.
No, don't give us any
I'm-
spoilers. You shut your mouth.
It's no spoilers.
Well,
I'm a
I'm
guest
muting you.
character that hasn't showed up yet.
I can't server mute you, but I can mute you.
Sisters, how was your trip?
It was tiring.
Are you glad to be home?
Absolutely.
Are you glad that you went?
Really? I've never been glad to be
Oh,
home
of
from
course.
Disney.
I'm always glad to be home from vacation.
Not from Disney.
Well, I'm an introvert.
Even from Disney.
There were people everywhere.
And you've not peopled in how long?
9 months.
So you were due.
No, I'm never due.
9 months? No, it was about time you be birthed again.
No. I get enough peopling on Tuesdays and Friday nights.
And Saturday. With
What's
the
Saturday?
podcast. Your podcast.
Oh,
with
that's
Gabby.
not peopling. That's Gabby.
It's
He's not.
personing.
He's not people.
He's not.
Gabby's a Sasquatch.
True.
Don't smile at me,
Accurate.
Mumbles. I mean, monkey or creepy.
Monkey.
Huh?
I love this amalgamation that you have on your screen of all of our characters.
I was about to say the
just
same
makes
thing.
makes me think so hard about Into the Spider-Verse.
I
Especially
need to
Crane.
finish mine.
Yeah, Crane has some new ones that are still in progress. So this is just this week's version of it. It'll change
Yeah,
as time
I'm
goes by.
working on
Oh,
that.
if
It's very
Leoric,
Into the
which is
Spider-Verse,
he's not on there. Leoric's not on. Wow, where's Leoric?
Oh dang it! I added Leoric and then apparently I didn't resave it.
No.
Leoric is no longer.
But Leoric will be changing if he survives long enough.
Oh,
He will.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leoric's
mine
my
will still
favorite.
be the one that looks the most different. But
Yeah,
it'll-
you're right. You're sitting right there, just not apparently in the thing. Hold on. Save.
Leoric's my favorite.
I'm
Although
working
I'm
on
really
it.
happy with the photo that the character that I chose for Wallashan's.
So, wait.
Oh, that was not the right button at all.
Well,
Please
where did
hold.
all of you get yours? I'm curious. Like, how and where?
Internet.
Google.
Hero
Nice.
Forge.
Dress.
We're not artsy enough, apparently.
Hey, there I am.
Yeah.
I drew mine.
Tim, you're the artsy one, okay?
I went to
Hold
I
on.
went to Hero Forge and I made a character.
I did too,
What
but I didn't like
hero
the way it
is
came
it?
out.
I hate that.
Same here.
Furbolgs,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Furbolgs
Yeah.
and cat people on there are just not great.
Fearbolgs
I
look
would
Yeah,
like
Because
to
they're not
tour.
furbolgs.
I know.
Yeah.
They're cow people.
They're-
Tried to make a heavy
Herd?
armor looking cleric on there and just look like a paladin. So
And
I would like to draw Wallashan, but I feel like at this point I've developed his character around the photo that I picked, so it's too late for that.
Just draw your version of it.
I bought probably the nerdiest sketch instruction book you can today, so
That picture of Leoric, he's wearing way too many
oh,
clothes.
hello.
All right.
hello.
So,
All
Welcome
right.
back.
so you all begin to start to filter out of this room when just sort of glancing around to see that the rest of the members of your party are coming along with you. You watch as Merinos walks over to the wall to your left, and the rest of you see nothing there. It's a plain wall. But he walks over there and he begins to sort of say something under his breath, and then his body freezes. It just locks up. Back stiff, shoulders back, head, just like suddenly at attention.
I'm gonna run over and grab her shoulders, his shoulders.
So you run over and you put your hand on their shoulders to sort of stabilize them, and just so quickly you watch Merinos reach down onto their hip, pull out a blade, hold their hand out, and slice off their pinky finger, and it
What?
drops to the ground. Immediately after that happens, he begins to convulse, so much so that Kaelin, you have a hard time keeping grips on his shoulders, and just begins to convulse and collapses to the ground. And you notice now that his hair, clothes, and body are soaking wet, and he begins to spit and cough up water, bleeding onto the ground. What are y'all doing?
Still unconscious, spitting water on the ground.
No, awake. But just sort of coughing up water.
What happened?
Can
What-
I like
what did-
quickly?
Why did?
Can I quickly like sleight of hand my like try and hide my hand? I'm gonna do a little quick
That-
sleight of hand, even though everyone saw it. I don't know if everyone saw
Like you're
it.
just sort of keeping your hand hidden.
I'm trying to hide it away.
I'll say that in the commotion of all of this, everyone except like Leoric and Kaelin have noticed, just based on Kaelin's proximity and Leoric's passive perception.
And Weslie.
And
That's right, and Weslie. But everyone else is sort of hasn't noticed your hand. So if you wanted to hide your hand, you could.
have I guessed what happened based on what happened to me?
So Kaelin, there's this sort of feeling in your gut that you recognize what kind of encounters cause this. The rest of you have no clue.
So I'm just gonna whisper in his ear. What did he say?
Merinos says nothing and just looks confused at him. Yeah.
Come on, let's get you.
What do you mean?
Let's. I think you know what I mean, but we don't have to talk about it here.
So you watch as Kaelin sort of helps Merinos back to his feet, and Merinos sort of staggers for a second and eventually sort of steadies himself and is ready to move again should you wish.
Do we have a healer?
There's me, but I don't have any spells prepared. I have to wait till
Calm
tomorrow.
down. It ain't much. I'll walk over and do a cure wounds.
Okay. You walk over and do your spell, and you notice that the finger is still missing.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like
It gone
they're
full.
I ain't
not-
that powerful.
They're not coming back.
No.
It gone.
It just
I'm gonna
stopped
be
moving.
honest.
In the
It gone.
words of Masters DMing on Tuesday night, he did. It did. So you've stood back up, and again the group is sort of not quite knowing what has happened here, but you're back on your feet, Merinos. What are y'all doing? Are you going to head to the hidden leg?
Right. Nothing
on
to see.
now.
Let's go. We were moving.
So
And I'll lead him. Sorry, Merinos, just out the door without talking to anyone again, because that's apparently what I do.
So
Yeah.
you're following behind Titus at this point, and again he's very practiced he knows his city, even the parts of it where maybe someone of his birth maybe shouldn't or wouldn't, he does. And so it takes a little while weaving back in and out of the tunnels and the ducts and everything through which you came, but eventually you come to a set of stairs that leads up to the surface, and it's not the same set of stairs that you came down on, from what you can tell. And you hear, the water pounding against stone, which you can now safely assume that you're in a docking district. You're right by where the docks are. Along the way, Titus tends to ramble on and on and on, especially about himself and whatever lady he is seeing, and how she is incredibly lucky to have him. But he also, in the course of that, does mention that he would like to reward you, and along the way he picks up a bag from a nook that you didn't notice and hands you all 50 gold pieces as a thanks for saving his life.
Each or total?
Each.
Ooh.
This guy is loaded.
He is the governor's son.
The governor, so.
He is a rich boy, rich man.
And so you all receive this money, and he is very, to the men in the group, it's very quick to money. But of course, being of the female variety, he spends a little extra time thanking you and handing you the money. Because I believe there's only one in the group.
Yeah.
This is a
Just
sausage
There's
fest here.
times I wish
Just
I was
picked.
a woman.
Me too. Wait.
Very good.
So,
I wonder what that's like, being a woman.
so anyway, he does that, and he very sleazily leads you up the steps out onto the street, and you come right in front of a building and with a little sign hanging above the door that says the Hidden Leg.
Oh, leg. I thought you said lake.
I did too.
Leg. Sorry,
I
Hidden
was
Leg.
wondering about that.
And he opens
Like
the
which
door,
one?
makes eye contact with the barkeep, and turns and walks back through the cellar doors, closes it, and he is gone. And you are left with an open door to the Hidden Leg Inn and Tavern. What do you do?
Good.
I'm going to sleep, pretending like none of this ever happened.
So, seeing you all sort of standing by the door, the person who was tending the bar comes back around and goes, "Oh yes, I see you're a friend of Titus's. Well, any friend of Titus is a friend of mine. What can I do for you?"
I just want maybe some ale and sleep. How much is a room here?
Well, if Titus knows you, then the room is no charge.
No charge.
Indeed. You'll just pay for your drinks.
No, all right. I've heard of some places that you can pay one rate and then have the food throughout your stay. Is there any sort of price that you would want to put on that, or would it just be every time you
Well, come in and sit down. Come sit at a table, and he sort of motions you over more towards the center of the where the tavern is here, on the lower part, and you see there's maybe 12 tables in the place, all with varying amounts of chairs. There's only 2 other people in here, and they are tucked on a corner table all the way in the end, hooting and hollering and drinking, and seem to be enjoying themselves in their own little private corner over there. And y'all are just led to the larger table in the center with enough chairs to accommodate you all. And the barkeep looks back at you and he goes, things are, I would say I could do 2 silver a night, and that would cover your food and drink.
I'm happy with that. Here, and then I'll toss him 2 silver. And I'm immediately getting a drink.
I'll do the 2 silver as well.
Wallashan's already ordered 3, downed 2.
How many rooms do you have available?
Well, right now I have, let's say 1, and then that. No, he left, and no, but she might come back. I have 3 rooms. They each have 2 beds, maybe a cozy bed for 2.
Merinos, do you want to split a room?
Fine, that sounds okay. So, Mumbles, when I get my drink, I'm not even gonna roll a con save. I want to fail that save and get drunk.
I will say that you can, should you so choose, you can drink enough to get drunk. Very easy.
All right.
The drinks here you can tell are very cheap. They are very cheap here.
Okay.
Do you have chocolate milk by any chance?
Do we have
chocolate milk?
You put chocolate in the milk.
Don't knock it until you've tried it.
Like, so you want me to take hard chocolate, and put it in cold milk?
No. It's okay. Could I just get some milk, please?
Yes, of course, certainly, milk right away. And he scurries off to to grab you all your drinks, and if anyone would like food, he, brings out what looks to be, to your best guess, a universal language for food. Bacon and eggs, even this late at night.
Ooh, it's good to me.
She came out and there was no light left. It is definitely very late in the day. So you have B for D.
Wallashan grabs a beer and shoves it in front of the kid that ordered whatever a chocolate milk is, and says, "Here you go, kid. Just take one on the house. Take one on me. Try a real man's drink."
Oh, no, thank you.
I have to bring the barkeep background to do an ID check. They get caught. Listen, man, this is the Empire. They're known to do that kind of stuff. All right, so
what bracelet is he wearing?
That is an excellent question. So he is wearing a silver bracelet with a white tassel.
And what was his name?
No one asked.
That's
He did not introduce himself. No one asked what he looked like.
What's your name, may we ask? In case we come back here again, we'd like to know your name.
Yes, my name is Hadrius Sorix.
Yeah, you're gonna spell that one, right?
Yeah.
And do you own this establishment?
Oh, no. I don't own it, but he owns it. But I run the place basically. Anyone who comes in and out deals with me. I just at the end of the month, I put the money in the box and the man comes and picks it up. But the man has never been here.
Out of character, that's a whole lot of words for just saying, I have a boss, but I run the place.
Sounds like a young and inexperienced young man. Just
that is Hadrius.
Wallashan to the barkeeper. "Hey, man. Give me another one, man."
Sure, right away. And you just kind of watch him turn and just like he's trying to say it under his breath, but he's just not being good. How many has that been already? And just goes back and fetches you another drink.
I've got myself set up a plate of bacon and eggs, and like, Mr. Hadrius, could you get me some milk, please?
Sure, more milk. You don't need any chocolate in it, right?
No, just I don't even know what chocolate is.
Oh, thank the gods. And he walks off and brings you back some milk.
Hadrius, who's this man who owns this bar that you're talking about?
Well, I don't know he doesn't let me call him by his, by his name because we're not allowed to speak or anything, and so I just kind of call him the man, and he comes by and he picks up the box with the money in it.
That sounds interesting.
Do you have to give this man a lot of money?
I run the place, but he owns the place, so I guess technically he gets all the money.
In that case, why don't I give you this? And I'm willing to give him 3 gold pieces to keep for himself.
He looks at it like you just put a snake in his hand.
Oh no.
What? And he takes 2 of the pieces and puts them back on the table and kind of holds one, and he goes, "I think I might, yeah, this is weird.
Please, just take it. It's for you."
They don't let me keep anything like this. Yeah, this is okay. And he just kind of tucks it into his pocket.
Move 1.
Yeah, he only took 1. He put 2 back on the table.
Well, I thought I was gonna do a nice thing. I think I might have made a mistake.
It seems to someone who takes all of the earnings of a place and puts it in the box so that some person who is not allowed to speak to can come by and pick it up, and you suddenly put, a couple weeks' wages in his hand at one time, if not more. Probably trying to figure that out. Not something that happens. You get the feeling that because of the way this works, like it's not like he gets to keep tips.
It's a shame. I'm glad he at least kept one in that case.
Yeah, he does have at least an average intelligence from what you can tell. So, a gold piece is a gold piece. Okay, so you're all he goes off to tend to the two rowdy people in the corner, sort of goes back.
How many rooms did we get?
3 rooms. And
Three?
For tonight, from what you can tell with having known Titus, that the rooms are free to you, and it was 2 silver pieces for your food and for your drinks while you're there.
2 silver pieces each?
Yes, 2 silver pieces each for your food and for your drinks.
Wallashan would have got more if he'd have realized it was that cheap.
Well, Wallashan's probably going to get like a special tab at the end, I got a feeling.
Right, well, I don't think it's a good idea to discuss anything we've learned here, but I'm going to bed.
Why do you always do that? You always turn away too quickly away from important information. I still want to bring up what happened to you, Merinos. We all saw that.
Well, perhaps right here isn't really the place.
Merinos is on the verge of being blackout drunk, so he's not even here, boy.
Yeah, Merinos is very...
Merinos don't want to talk tonight. Maybe not even tomorrow. He gonna... No.
I'm going to bring this up again, Merinos. I know you probably can't understand me. We will bring this up again, but we'll give you time. Process
Merinos looks up at you, very stone-faced. It just looks back down, and then it tries to get up to go back to the. He makes a big old attempt.
Merinos and Wallashan have begun to drink so much at this point and are getting drunk that you watch that as Hadrius keeps having to go back and forth between where he's getting the drinks and bringing them out, that he like stops for a second, like reaches down, like rubs the back of his calf and everything. Like this is probably the busiest he's been in a while trying to keep up with the two of you.
Leoric is gonna walk over to Wallashan and throw him over his shoulder. All right, Wallaby, that's enough for tonight. You're wearing the man out.
And Wallashan says, just another one more because, and then falls asleep and becomes dead weight.
And I will take him up and throw him on one of the beds. And then Leoric is going to spend probably about an hour making a bed using his druid craft on the floor.
Okay.
And I'm gonna... Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
I'm gonna grab Merinos and say, come on, let's get to bed. And I'll lead him by the arm.
And then Jolin takes the other bed.
Merinos does a grunt and then just follows. That's about it. He's outie.
I will tuck him in, take off his boots, make sure he's relatively comfortable.
No, I'm a man.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yes, I know.
He attempts to take off his own boots, so.
And then
so,
Mumbles, I would.
Merinos,
Go ahead.
Merinos, make a dexterity.
I'm taking off my own boots.
At disadvantage.
Let's see, what is my dexterity? Oh god, I can't even make rolls, can I? And then I'll just roll. If it'll let me roll. Why is my thing not letting me roll?
That rolled 2d20, so roll again.
Did you click on your
I'll just do a
20
physical die.
extension?
I have it.
That's fine.
That is a 12.
A 12?
He does it. It's really slow, kind of sloppy taking off those boots, isn't it?
Yeah. So sort of Yeah, so Kaelin tries to assist, and you sort of you shoo him away for a second, and you kind of sit up on the edge of the bed, and it's like slam a boot down, kind of go grab it, sort of lift your foot out real slow, get that one out, then other foot down on the get that one slowly out, and then you put your now both feet are on the ground as you sit on the edge of the bed, and you go, easy, and you just pass out onto the bed.
Anytime Kaelin does try to help when I'm in that process, like, no, I'm a man.
Drunkenly swatting you. The masculine pride finally getting the better of Merinos as they lay there pinkyless, trying to take their own boots off.
Pinkyless trying to take off the boots.
I should have made DC probably a little higher on that, but I felt bad for you.
And after he's passed out,
bad for Merinos.
After he's passed out, can I look at the wound? How does it look?
Well, considering that Leoric came over and sort of did his little thing, and it's like the wound itself looks, clean. It looks fine. It doesn't look like it would be infected or anything like that. It's just a clean cut, no pinky. It's just gone.
Okay.
It looks like he cut his pinky off.
All right.
It's clean.
I'm gonna spend about 4 hours or so reading in my new book, and reading about the what's it called, the bracelets and stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Yep.
Meanwhile,
we'll come back to that.
His revolvers.
Okay. So Crane is just sitting there. Who is in a room? So Kaelin and Merinos are in a room.
Mm-hmm.
Leoric and Wallashan are in a room,
and
which means 3 of you will be in the third room.
Jolin's with us as well.
Right, that's right. So then there's 3 of you in 2 rooms.
Are there any candles in here? Like just a single candle? Like I could.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's a candle.
I'd like to ask for one of the candles, please. Just for. I'd like to ask Hadrius for a candle just to sit around for a little bit.
Can I?
He brings you a candle. Doesn't know why. Just brings it to you.
Can I poke my head back out and look at Vix and be like, I don't use a bed. If you'd like to take the second bed in our room.
And are you sleeping there too?
No, I'll be on the floor.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay. So Vix goes and joins Kaelin and Merinos in the room. Merinos is passed out, drunk, snoring very loudly. And Kaelin is doing his best, sitting on the floor, reading the book that he received from Claudia. Let's see. At this point, Wallashan is passed out. Leoric is building a bed. Crane is cleaning revolvers.
I would like to examine the
you.
small leather book that was with that one guard, to see if I recognize any similarities of languages that I may know.
Sure. So you now have this amulet that gives you this ability to recognize languages. And where's my notes on this? So you got this book, right? This small little book from the guard, and you begin to read. You open up the cover, and on the front page is the title of the book, and it is "How to Be the Best Guard" in Imperial manuscript. And in it is all sorts of fascinating tidbits on guard workplace culture and how to improve your patrol routes and how to stab things with your spear.
Vix finds any information useful to her, so she tries to memorize the routes that guards take in this book.
I will say that if you spend an hour on it before bed, I'll say that you will have a basic knowledge of guard patrol routes in the city.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting by the window because I didn't want to actually light a candle. So I'm just sitting by the window reading and just looking out at the sky.
Okay.
I'm sitting around a candle, and I will perform a ritual of my faith. I'm going to cast Taumaturgy on the candle for 2 effects. One to turn the flame purple, and the other to dim it. I will just zone out into my prayers and meditations while it lasts.
Okay. Who is in your room, Wesley?
I
What's
don't
in the room
know.
with Wesley? That would be Crane at this point. Is it just Crane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty
So it's fun. The rest of you aren't there, but to the 2 of you in the room, Wesley, as you look over, there is Crane very diligently cleaning his firearms. And then he looks over to you, and here you are, bright purple flame on a candle, and it's dim. And you sit there and begin your ritual.
Is that safe near gunpowder?
Oh no.
I will have to do some DM research on purple flames near black powder, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
He dimmed it after all.
If y'all, we'll just come in next session. Click. What are y'all doing? All right. So, you've all taken the time that you want. Or Kaelin, do you want your explanation now of what you read? I just thought that you were telling me you were reading it. Then I said I'd come back to it.
Yeah, well, you can do the explanation now if you don't mind.
Okay, we'll just get to that real quick. Let me pull up my notes. All right, so you read, and you're reading about the bracelets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you come across some knowledge that you were already told, right? Words that you've seen, which is aurum, which is the Aurelian word for gold. Argenti, which is the Aurelian word for silver. And Eris, which is the Aurelian word for copper. You find as you're reading that people without a band or mark are called spiritus, which means ghost, because they are supposed to be invisible to the rest of society. You also, as you continue to read and focus on this, that the gold bands are specifically for the upper class. And that they even have their own speech, which they call, it essentially translates to high speak. And for them to speak any other dialect or language is a major social faux pas. These tend to be red in the aurum. Red tends to be members of government or religious leaders. Blue are high-ranking members of the military. And white are large land tract owners and business owners. You also read that Aries, the copper, is the lowest class. Those tend to be your farmers, day laborers, factory workers, mechanics, and so on. Also, newly recruited Imperial Guards or non-legionnaire members of the military are considered Aries. They do not have colored tassels. They just have the copper band. And they speak Impar, which translate to low speak.
What do the Argenti speak?
The Argenti speak mid speak, also called meditas. It's a less formal. Some know, everyone sort of, the Argenti know low speak, but don't use it very often, only whenever they would be dealing with a laborer underneath them. But the Eris will very typically only know low speak, unless they know mid speak to speak with an Argenti. Those people are called femula, which is an Aurelian word for servant. So if you're the lower class who knows how to speak the middle class language, they basically call you a servant behind your back. And that is what you can gather from reading this so far.
Okay.
Mumbles, for
Yes.
no particular reason,
Mhm.
not because we're talking about it in general chat, but was my finger consumed? Was it there when I came back?
Nope. It was gone.
Yeah. Brokebutt.
Yep. Yep, it was gone.
And then I want to read my other book also.
Yeah, that is as you read your other book, it's very just the manner in which you read it, it's very instinctual and you pick up on it very quickly and you're just it seems almost unnatural to you that you have this increased arcane knowledge, but you pick up the gist of the book and know exactly what it gives you.
Okay.
Easy enough.
I may do some practicing too.
So, as everyone is either now passed out from either exhaustion or heavy drinking, the lights outside your windows are dimmed, but not completely out. It's a bit brighter than you're used to, especially you, Leoric, considering where you grew up and lived. But slowly but surely, all of you find your way to sleep, except for Jolin, who stands by the door and seems wide awake. Not talking, just standing there, eyes open.
You gonna take that armor off, or are you just gonna? Hello?
I don't wear armor. This is.
Of course you do. It's right there. I see it on you right now.
Nope, this is just my body.
All right, if you don't want to come out, you don't have to. That's fine.
I'm just gonna stand right here.
Just gonna stand. You can't get much rest if you stand there all night. That must be real tiring.
I'll be fine. I'll keep watch.
That sounds a little creepy. What are you watching?
I'm gonna watch for things that want to kill us.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good idea.
I thought so.
Well, that bed over there is all yours if you want it.
No, I'll stand right here by the door for watching things. It gives me a good chance to hit them before they notice me if somebody comes through.
If you say so, but there ain't no shame in sleeping.
Well, I don't really have to sleep. It's kind of a thing.
All right then.
You don't know very much about the world, do you?
Oh, I know plenty.
I'm sure. Jeholan just kind of leans back against the wall, just right by the door.
All right then. Good night.
He says nothing back. He's just standing there. And so, all of you, one way or another, begin to drift off to sleep. Tired from your fight, maybe confused about ultimately what your goal is, what you're really going to be able to do here for these people, and truly for some of you, if you even want to at this point. But one by one, you all drift to sleep, and that is where we'll pick up next week.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Good session, y'all.
Thanks, Mumbles.
Merinos developed depression.
Except for Merinos, who lost a finger. Rip Merinos' finger.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
R.I.P. You know,
Feeling
Tisha
really
did
mean.
not want all this to happen. In fact, I think it was a poor planning decision and I shot myself up. But also, it's nice, rich character content. Nice, rich backstory.
Somebody will get regenerate eventually.
That none of us know about.
So, y'all, hey, look at this. Y'all won a whole session, didn't have to fight anybody.
That was a great RP heavy session. I enjoyed it.
Like, that's
Not
pretty wonderful.
fighting in a session? What?
Quick note to the rest, to everybody, especially because we have some newer players and stuff. Y'all sat around talking for a long time to let a guard drink a poison potion out his hip. Like, And I don't know if y'all noticed what the other guards were like. They were pretty cowardly at first, so he probably would have answered your questions. But yeah.
Could they have understood him?
Also,
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have.
Yeah,
at the
that's a
time.
small issue.
also probably just a
Wait,
note
wait.
that it would seem weird that only one guard would have a poison potion that looked like a healing potion, but y'all found a lot of healing potions on those people.
Hey,
Mumbles,
Leoric's
I
already said
got
to
a
watch out.
Yeah.
I got a question, Mumbles.
Yep.
It's a small plot hole that I may have found.
Okay.
Somehow we were able to talk to the villagers in common and completely understand them. And completely understand the charges that were read out. But we couldn't talk to anyone else.
Right. We actually mentioned that a little bit last week. And that was actually due to your proximity to the portal. That allowed you to
okay.
use- And then of course the only thing that you recognized again in your language then was whenever Tiberius spoke and gave his speech. And there's a reason why you could hear his voice over top the crowd and the rain and everything else. That was to you obviously a magical effect.
That's fair.
Yep. I
Okay.
appreciate you trying to find my plot holes.
I
I'm
want to
sure
keep you consistent.
No, I'm sure people have plenty. Y'all are gonna be like, that is not what you
Every
said.
time you attempt to find a plot hole, it's not a plot hole though. He lowers your max AC.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I just raised the DC of everything you want to do. Like, oh, you want to loot that guard? That's gonna be a DC 20. Good luck.
All right, I'm gonna.
22.
putting my
Yep,
boots
you
back-
find another locket. That guy had a family.
Oh, no. Me putting my boots back on. 24. Good luck.
I'm gonna say goodbye to chat. I'll be right back.
All right.
That was so funny. Like, first thing you roll that, like,
Oh man, guys, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. We will be back. This did not appear to change scenes. It was supposed to. No, I guess this is the scene that it changes to. So I'm already here. We will be back Monday morning with some Minecraft. 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. GMT. Hope you guys enjoyed this session. This was a ton of fun. I think I rolled like twice, maybe 3 times. But I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast. And tune in next Friday for session 4. And this will be up on YouTube shortly. And let's do a raid. Oh, I did not forget. Now that I actually have stuff set up. Twitch.tv. Who are we following today? Anybody playing D&D? Let's take a look at... I don't see anybody playing D&D. I don't see anybody playing Minecraft. That's on the family friendly. We could raid purple for the second time. Let me see who's on FFL right now. JJB. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna raid JJBD DB for playing some Minecraft. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Don't forget the hashtag Jungle Party Raid if you're still around for it. And I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody. I don't know what this button does. Does this button work? I don't even know. Let's find out.